North Wilkesboro Speedway dates back to 1947 and has been full of racing and NASCAR history since. The history pages go blank after 1996, however, with only brief entries in the years that followed, with some testing and lower level races here and there. That is, at least until Dale Jr. and iRacing realized a dream: to revive and preserve North Wilkesboro Speedway with the help of Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, and now here we are, a handful of years later, with the repaved version for all to use on iRacing. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the Sim Auto Racing Association Pierce Fleet Service Super Series at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Pierce Fleet Service, All Pro League, and all series partners. This is going to be an exciting one. I am ready to go here. The virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway has finally been updated to its 2025 glory. You see the B-roll there on your screen. This place looks pristine. Let's take a look at the track map. The big difference here to what we've seen in the past with the 1987 version of this racetrack is the pit lane. Of course, the asphalt has been repaved, redone. It's fantastic, a lot of grip out there, or maybe not, but the pit lane has been completely extended to begin inside of turn 3, almost on the back straightaway, and end technically in turn 1 with the merge lane there in turn number 2. Nearly a full lap around in the pit lane of some sort, whether it's the entry or exit. That is a big difference to what you saw in the 1987 scan or version of this racetrack. Now, we don't have any points to go over. This is, of course, the brand new series, brand new season for the SARA Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. Let's take a look at the schedule. We open things up here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Next up, we go racing in Mexico City, and I could not be more excited for that. These are maybe the best two racetracks we could have opened the season on. North Wilkesboro just got redone on iRacing, looks fantastic. It carries so much weight in short track racing right now. And Mexico City is just an oddball. It's not the road course, it's the oval. There is an oval configuration there at Mexico City. It's about a mile long. We'll be racing on it next week. I am so excited. It's going to be a really, really cool test for these drivers. It's a little bit like Milwaukee. So if you've run Milwaukee on iRacing, you have a bit of an idea of what that racetrack is like, or even in real life. It's a little bit like Milwaukee with a little more irregular corners, and of course it's a road course, front and back stretch. It's strange. It's a little strange, a little out there, but it makes it so cool. And then, of course, we go into some mystery rounds, rounds 3 and 4, and then we come back to Indianapolis Raceway Park. That's going to be exciting. Round number 5 on November the 6th, and we cap the first half of the season off in November with a third mystery round on the season. We come back in 2026 with Lanier to get things going, a couple more mystery rounds right off the bat, and then we go racing at New Smyrna, one more mystery round, and then Southern National to cap the season off. A really, really solid schedule here put together by Matt Rolfe and associates over at the Sim Auto Racing Association. Now, warm-up is coming to a close. About 20 more seconds, but we'll get the times up on the left side of your screen. Here's a look at who's fast and who's maybe looking for a little more speed out there. Alex McCollum, no surprise, top of the board. The big thing here is that he is the only driver to drop down into the 17-second bracket. He's the only driver, sub 18 seconds, and the warm-up session should be advanced really any time now. But McCollum on top. Cole Cabry, second place, and there you see the session being advanced. Jacob Harbert's got to talk to him at Martinsville Speedway last weekend. He is third in warm-up. Joel Smith, Parker Traves, Tracy Petter, Joe Schaefer Jr., Spencer Dickinson, Mitch Strunowski, and Kyle Meyer, your top 10 in warm-up. 30 drivers have made the race, 28 by times, 2 by provisionals, and we are ready to go racing now from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Before we do so, I want to go back to that moment that I mentioned, Jacob Harbert, and getting to beat him back at Martinsville Speedway last week for the Valley Star Credit Union 300. We had a rain delay. I was able to get down from my camera perch and go talk to Jacob real quick, meet him, and we realized very quickly we had to get a Martinsville hot dog. Now, the rains subsided, the track dried, and I was called back to my perch as I was in the hot dog line. But I managed to still get a Martinsville hot dog. Thank you, Jacob Harberts. Thanks to you, we were able to get a hot dog there before leaving Martinsville Speedway. I think I ate it during the second rain delay, but that's okay. It was still nice and tasty. The Martinsville hot dog is a classic, and I wanted to make sure we got this in. We had conversations about it in the Spencer Dickinson fan club Discord, and we just had to get it on screen there before we go racing here this evening. We have 30 cars ready to go racing from the North Wilkesboro Speedway this evening on iRacing. They've all made the cut. Justin Laxton, John Willett, the two provisionals at the back of the field. Let's go through the Lucky Performance starting grid. On pole, Alex McCullum. A blistering lap time puts him first on the grid alongside Jacob Harberts, and it looks like McCullum... there's a 6-car invert, and that's what you're seeing now, so the top 6 are being inverted. So McCollum did qualify fastest, he'll start 6th. Harbert's qualified 2nd, will start 5th, I do believe. Then Corey Bodie, Josh Cottle right in the middle. Kendall Tucker, Blake Massengill there, qualified in the 3rd row. They should start from the front row this evening here at North Wilkesboro. Starting 7th, it's Cameron Hamilton, Casey Kelly from 8th. It'll be Tracy Petter and Mitch Trunowski back in row number 5. Followed up by Still Langford, Cole Cabrey deep in the field, Trevor Edwards deep, Joel Smith a little deep in the field as well, 14th spot, Spencer Dickinson, Kyle Turzak there in row number 8. Then Kyle Meyer, Parker Traves, followed up by Eric Tracy and Daniel Pope to complete your top 20. Joe Schaefer Jr., RJ Williams back in row number 11, followed up by the number 86 of Justin Crow, new to the series, I think. Trayton Lapsvich will start from 24th, followed up by Aaron Johnson. Cody Kelly, by the way, Cody Kelly started on pole in his heat race at Martinsville. He qualified fastest in the Valley Star Credit Union 300, had a great run, didn't quite finish where he should have finished, where he should have ended up in that race, but had a great outing at Martinsville, and that has me pumped for Cody. I think his career is headed in a really cool direction. Keith Jeffrey, Matt Rolfe, they complete the 14 rows of qualifiers, and then we'll go back a little bit. You see some drivers who didn't make the cut. Caleb Hall, Jimmy Mullis, iRacing world-class driver, did not make the cut. Dylan Bates did not make it. Dante Curtis did not make it. Justin Laxton did not make it. Actually, no, Justin Laxton did alongside John Willett. But Josh Parrish, Aaron Abendroth, and Devin Rogers will not make it into tonight's race. iRacing.com safety car will leave the field in the hands of Kendall Tucker and Blake Massengill on the front row. Here we go to go racing at North Wilkesboro Speedway, the race scan. Let's go racing. This is the All-Pro Virtual League 125, and it's green from Wilkesboro. One lap complete here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Just like that, it happens quick. These super late models carry a ton of speed. Without further ado, Whiplash Cam's race details. 125 lap race, no change sets. The choose rule is in effect for cautions, and those cautions will count. 2 green-white checkers if needed. Open setup with no fast fix available to these drivers. And boy, what a start to the race for Blake Massengill, getting away with the race lead very early here. Josh Cottle, 2nd place. Jacob Harbert's in 3rd. There they go, off into turns number 3 and 4 here on lap number 3. And here they go by the speed shot. Here's your race leader, the number 10, Blake Massengill. Single file all the way back to what seems to be around the Casey Kelly area, actually. Casey Kelly here on the outside in the 10th spot or so, alongside Trevor Edwards. Some paints might update here in the background. Ignore that. It's fine. We'll keep on moving. From the blimp now. Oh, Casey Kelly, Trevor Edwards. Big moment there. Edwards gets into Cabrey. Kelly's in the wall. Edwards around. Caution number 1 of the season. Oh, and Edwards just got walloped by somebody trying to go by. That is a big hit. And Trevor Edwards, I think, is done in the season opener here. Edwards, that's not how that car is supposed to be driving at all. The left front is not supposed to be lodged up in the hood, believe it or not. So as these paint schemes update, kind of last second here as we get going, let's go back and see what happened here to Trevor Edwards and company. He was racing alongside Casey Kelly. I'm not actually sure what sparked that, really. And who gets him here? That's going to be, oh my goodness, as Edwards has a completely different look to his race car. I'm glad we updated paint schemes there. They had, I guess they were loaded from the last time we had Super Late models. That would have been Oxford, I think. But regardless, a look from up above. We're watching a similar view to this when it happened. Now, Casey Kelly's on the outside, that's the 5 car. Trevor Edwards down low in the 32, and Kelly just got into the right rear of the 32, and Trevor was just trying to gather it up. His teammate got into him a little bit there. That was Cole Cabre and Cody Kelly. Unfortunately, the car that gets collected there, nowhere to go into the left front of Trevor Edwards. One more time. McConnell chassis 32. It just looked like Casey was squeezing him a little bit out of turn 2. That's just tough racing early on, and Cody Kelly nowhere to go. Here's Cody's perspective. Again, fastest qualifier at Martinsville in the biggest late model stock race of the year, and that is not how he wanted to get his season started here in the SARA Super Series. It's a lot of right front damage, and while he doesn't have to tow back to the pit lane, he will likely be in the pit lane for some time while the rest of these guys go back racing here very shortly. The field has doubled up. The iRacing.com safety car is back to the safety of pit lane, and we're about to go back racing here. Back into the restart zone. Green flag once again here at North Wilkesboro. Jacob Harbert's to the left rear of Josh Cottle. Big moment there between those two drivers as everybody gets filed off down the front straightaway. Of course, this racetrack, downhill into turn 1, uphill into turn 3. The characteristics of this place have been talked about for eons at this point. A very, very special little racetrack here in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Tracy Petter moving forward. He's a new addition to the series here in 2025. He's in your top 10, racing here with Alex McCullum, who is your fastest qualifier here today. And McCullum will get right to the inside of Kendall Tucker. Near contact there for turn 4 of right white number 1 for Alex McCullum. That's going to be hard to miss this season if he keeps that the same. Trouble in the back. Aaron Johnson headed backwards. He hangs on to the race car but falls back behind John Willett and in front of Cody Kelly, who's soldiering on through the damage. On the front stretch, Blake Massiel continues to lead in that orange number 10. He's been a lot of fun to watch lately in the Super Late Model here on iRacing, specifically here in the SARA Series, if you will, between the National Tour and now the Super Series on Thursday nights. He's come a long way. I got to say, he has come a very long way, and I think he's still got a long way to go before he's dominating this series quite like a guy like Alex McCullum, but boy, Massiel has really come together as of late. Look there at his race stats so far. He's led every single lap except for one, and I suspect that was either the first lap or one under caution potentially. Some really cool perspectives around this racetrack thanks to Whiplash Sim Cams. Had a bunch of fun stringing this place up with virtual camera cables. Decent battle back here though. Kendall Tucker and Steele Langford on his inside. They're side by side through 3 and 4. Cole Cabre trying to march through the field here. On board with Cabre now in a new paint scheme as he adorns the Cottle chassis colors. Close call there for Tucker. I also just love the sound of these race cars here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. So much speed, such wide corners, a lot of racing room. Even though it looks tight, there is a lot of real estate. You just got to manage yourself. Off a corner exit, it tightens up, but a lot of room into the corners, I'd say, here at North Wilkesboro as Mitch Drunowski will get by Kendall Tucker. That double lot seems to be headed the wrong direction. Corey Bodie finally piloting his own entry here in the series He is now on the back end of that double aught machine as they rip through 3 and 4. You see the battle right behind with Kyle Turzak and Joel Smith, a couple of the youngest drivers in the series. A lot of talent, though, between these two. Contact there between them down the back straightaway. Spencer Dickinson caught right behind. Parker Traves, Kyle Meyer, all kind of getting backed up now as these two fight tooth and nail, wheel to wheel, mirror to mirror. And Smith will win that fight. There was a race we broadcast, I don't know, a year and a half ago maybe, here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. I can't recall what the race even was. I just recall we broadcasted it. And Joel Smith dominated that race. That was in, I wonder, was that the National Tour? I don't think it was, but regardless, it might have been the National Tour. Regardless, he dominated that race. It was in a super late model here at Wilkesboro. That was on the old version, on the 1987 version. And, Turzak into Dickinson. They straighten it out. But that is a big moment there in the midfield. Dickinson, back-to-back bumper now of Turzak here to turn 3. Everybody plays it nicely. Lap switch down to the inside. Turzak falling back. Big problems there between the 6 and 15. No change out front. Let's see what just happened. We saw it live, but I reckon this will need a closer look, as you can see a lap prior, the 6 and 15 very close. Once again, Turzak very racy, a little aggressive here in the early goings. And down the straightaway into turn 1, Turzak, I think, just gets in deep, a little high up the racetrack, and they make contact. Meyer just squirts by, and you see Traves get the back of the 15 car, maybe make a little bit of damage there, and they sort it out into turn 3. Matt Rolfe now working on Turzak, who's fallen back to 19th spot. And you've got Justin Laxton just behind in an all-black 53 car this season. Dickinson and Pope now side by side as they work into turn number 1. This is getting a little far back of the field now, but some really good racing back here. Aaron Johnson clears Justin Crow. Great racing deep in the field here. The Cody Williams design weather conditions for the first time tonight. 78.3 degrees in the air. It just changed. Wind conditions variable at the moment, at about 4 miles per hour, as a caution will come out here on lap 29. Caution is out for the second time today. You see the track temp up to 90 degrees, and it looks like Aaron Johnson and RJ Williams are in trouble. There's RJ Williams running tonight for Cody Dempster. And that's a lot of damage to that 24 car. Humidity a little bit high, 40%. This is back behind that battle with Dickinson and Rolfe, and I would dare say, Daniel Pope as well. And Turzak even. And, Aaron Johnson just gets into RJ Williams, and they take a massive hit to that inside wall. There used to be grass down there that would kind of cushion the blow, give you a little more room to save the race car, but that's a safer barrier now, and that is a big hit for these two. Aaron Johnson, of course, collected that win last season at Rockingham Speedway. Just tags Williams in the left rear, and wow, that is a really big hit. And RJ Williams not running for points this season. He's here tonight on behalf of Cody Dempster, but Aaron Johnson, this is a really big hit for his season. He's been around the top 10 before. I would think every time we've covered the series to this point, that's a big hit for him. A lot of damage. One more look at it here. Just off the corner. Not sure if he thought he was clear up or what, but that is a really, really big hit for that 78 car. RJ Williams might be able to get back out with some damage repairs, but I'm not sure what the situation is, if he'll earn points for Cody Dempster tonight, if it's even worth him continuing on. Regardless, we'll get re-racked and restacked here, as you see we've done, and go back racing in just a moment. There's the whole field lined up in the back straightaway, and it'll be Blake Massengill over Josh Cottle. Then row 2 will have Jacob Harberts on the inside. Alex McCullum outside. And it looks like Cameron Hamilton and Tracy Petter, your top 6. Back into the restart zone. Racing once again here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. A big restart already for Alex McCollum. He's working that top side. He's going to get clear, I think, of Josh Cottle this time through turn 3 and 4. Maybe not. Cottle drives back up on the inside. Stays alongside that number 1 and continues to fight. Down into turn number 1. Now McCullum gets clear. Harberts and Petter side by side. Cameron Hamilton moving up. He's into 6th. And on the outside there, hello, Steele Langford. Oh, hang on. 3 wide, turn 3. Cabry through the middle. Langford had a moment there. Hamilton gets into Cabry. Now he's going to spin around. Caution again on the front straightaway. Cameron Hamilton in trouble. Race winner at Hickory last season. Let's watch this from the fan cam down into turn 3. We gotta go a little further back, I think. You see the 3 wide. Cabry shoots the gap. Hamilton tracks up off of turn 4. Maybe not knowing they're 3 wide. It's hard to say. Kendall Tucker gets in the back of Hamilton, and Hamilton has a lone spin on the front straightaway. Could have been a lot worse, given the situation, of course, being 3 wide like that, so tightly packed, but as Trevor Edwards' car is ablaze in the pit lane, smoking. And you see Hamilton into Petter. That's what happened on the back straightaway. That's how Cabry shoots the middle. And Hamilton just got tagged by Tucker, but nothing Tucker did wrong. Kendall really had nowhere to go in that. One more look. This is back to turn 4, the previous lap. Hamilton slides up out of turn 2. Gets into Petter. Langford gets the wall. Cabry through the middle, and then watch the 10 here off the corner. He just travels up into the left side of the 54 car, and he pays the price ultimately. And we'll restack the field one more time. The shoes should be here on the front straightaway, I believe. Maybe backstretch, unless they're still reviewing things. And it seems that will be the choose zone there off of turn number 2. So McCullum down low. Massengill, I think, smart to choose the top side. Harbert's down low. Cottle up high. Petter down low. Langford up high. Interesting choose there. Got some other upcoming broadcasts here at Pit Stop TV. Next up is Sunday, October the 5th, we go Southern 500 racing with the Major Series. You might see Dallas Pataska in that one. I know he frequents these SARA races. Not here tonight, but might be in that race Sunday. NASCAR Next Gen Vehicles at the Darlington Raceway for 500 miles. Then next Thursday, it's out to Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez for the second round here of the SARA Super Series before we open things up with the BRB Sundance Pro Series on October the 14th at Daytona. Here we go. Restart zone one more time. Lap 41 becomes lap 42. Green flag down the hill here at Wilkesboro. Big 3-wide dive there out of Cole Cabry. He's looking for daylight. He's found it underneath the 79 of Petter. 3 wide as well with Drumowski. Off the corner, that's Kendall Tucker in the wall. Big, big crash down the front straightaway. Petter involved, Lapsevich, Rolf, Schaefer. The list goes on. Petter's machine is destroyed. Hate to see that for someone making his debut as a full-time driver, I believe, this season from Open Trailer Mafia. There you go. Open Trailer Mafia there on the bottom graphic. Joe Schaefer Jr. in the pit lane as well, I believe. There he is. He's already towed. So the 00 of Kendall Tucker is kind of where this starts, but I don't think he's at fault. Petter gets into Drunowski. They slip up 3 wide there. Tucker comes off the bottom. I'll take it back. I think Tucker is at fault. He cleared up, and oh my goodness, the mess that ensues. Corey Bodie got bodied into the wall. I gotta place this, I think, on Tucker. You see, Drunowski and Petter had it saved, and then Tucker comes up, clears off of Petter. That puts Schaefer in the wall hard. Meyer gets a piece. Lapsevich, Pope. Rolf even gets into the wall, trying to miss it. That's a really big mess here on the front straightaway. Still very early in this race. Here's Rolf's point of view. Now for him, it's actually going to clear out some decently competitive race cars, but not the way you want it to happen at all, especially as he's kind of the guy who runs all of this. Not what he wants to see, but I think he'll take it at the end of the day. One more look. See it start there at the bottom of your screen and just continue laps, which gets run over by Pope, and I mean, there's nowhere for those guys to go. I say run over, but there's realistically nowhere for them to go, no time for them to react. It just stacks up so quickly. Really cool racetrack here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. I mentioned in my open that it all begun here in 1947. That predates, I believe, all of my grandparents. that's crazy, but not by much. I think they were born pretty much in 47, 48, but regardless, this place has so much history. It's a lot like Martinsville. Just so much has happened here over the years. It's so good to have it back. And I'm glad now because I've been lucky enough to go here and work here since the remodel, and man, it looks so good. I'm glad we can all enjoy it now here on iRacing. Into the restart zone from the drones at Wilkesboro, lap 48. Black Magic Performance working their magic. McCollum up to second. Harbert's looking for third. McCollum slips up. Harbert's down to the inside of Cottle now. 3 wide off the corner. Cottle backs out. That was wise. That could have been a big mess at a turn 2 had he not. A lot of heads-up racing here at the front of the field. Aaron Johnson now smoking in the pit lane as Harberts looks to clear himself. If he can just get by the 13 car, you're just working on it. If Harberts can get by, and he does, that's going to bring Cole Cambry now, who's into the top 5. So Cambry now to the inside of his teammate over at Cottle Chassis. And it's a very clear picture who's got speed already in these super late models. Cottle Chassis leading. Black Magic Performance second and third. Cottle Chassis fourth and fifth. There is definitely a clear picture as to who has got speed and who doesn't. Big moment behind these guys. Parker Traves, Mitch Drunowski to hang on to it. Terzak and Rolf side by side. I want to thank Aaron Johnson for shutting off the smoke screen down in turn 4. That was starting to be a little chaotic. Justin Laxton slips up on the inside of Spencer Dickinson. That allows a gap for Dickinson to get back down to the bumper of Kyle Terzak. That was close for a moment. And now Traves in the wall. Wolf goes underneath him. Caution is out. It's John Willett, the number 8. Along with Justin Crow in the number 86. There's Willett's new number 8 car. Good looking machine. He was just behind Cameron Hamilton and Keith Jeffrey. He ends up losing about 8 spots in this. Let's see what happens off of turn 4. Gets the wall, and Eric Tracy nowhere to go. Willette spins it around, brings it to a stop. I'm not sure that the 86 was even involved in that. Some pit stops here under this yellow. Turzak down to the pit lane. A lot of cars down here, most of them all for repairs. I mean, Petter, Edwards, Pope. Well, Pope was on the lead lap. Bodie's in the lead lap. You see them both in the pit lane. Bodie was the car that just rolled by this perspective. But Pope, it seems, is going to be here for a while, maybe. Turzak gets rolling. Lapsevich gets rolling. Pope now gets rolling behind Justin Crowe. He might lose a lap. It'll be close. You see the pace car there on the racetrack. This is from Pope's perspective. Down in the pit lane. Make sure it doesn't speed. And he'll get off the pit lane just fine. And there's the shoes. Blake Massengill stays up top. And that is a wise decision, I feel like. The top side is potent on these restarts. You just need to get that launch, and you've got the edge into turn 1. We've seen it work for him all night long. Question is, if we get going green, can he hold on? Even on these restarts, McCollum's getting better and better as the night goes on. Can he hold on over the best of the best? I mean, you've got 3 of the best right behind him. I'd say even 5. Throw in Josh Cottle, Joel Smith. You got Alex McCollum, Jacob Harberts, Cole Cabrey, Josh Cottle, Joel Smith right behind this number 10 car. This is going to be a test for sure for Blake Massengill, and maybe a sign of what's to come this season here in this series. Here we go. Back into the restart zone. Massengill, McCollum, real close. Green flag. Big dive down to the inside there for Massengill. Shuts the door in Alex's face. Here comes Cole Cabrey on the inside of Jacob Harberts. That's an important pass. That splits up the teammates out front of, McCollum into Massengill. This is going to be a big crash maybe. Yes, in the back, a massive accident. Cars are flipping. I'm not sure who that is on his lid. That might be, that's Kendall Tucker. Lands on all 4s at the end, but this is a big, big accident, and this is not the first time that we've seen Alex McCollum get a little overzealous, maybe, in that one car. Going for the lead there in turn 3, that's okay. He showed his nose. Got it cut off, that's all right, that's racing. And down here in 1 and 2, just miscalculated. Got in the left rear of Blake, and oh my goodness. Stacks them up big time. It's that line of cars though. Oh my, wow. 2 lines of cars that just stack up after it, and this is a big one. A lot to digest. Let's see here from down along the track. Blake and Alex both did a great job of doing their best to hang on to the race car, but you see there on the right side of your screen a bit of how Tucker got airborne. Matt Rolfe, if you're listening, we need a caution extension on this. This is going to take a lot to look at. Here's Kendall Tucker, kind of back end of the field. They're going to stack up ahead of him on the outside. He tries to go low, but Massengill got turned by Drunowski, and you see Tucker up in the air, pirouetting. That is a huge, huge flip for him, and first race of the season, not what anybody really wants to see at this point in time. I want to see a car flip in the first race of the season, whether it's NASCAR at Daytona or Super Lates here at North Wilkesboro. That is not the sight you want to see. One more look back at what happened on the outside of turn number 2. This is going to be Spencer Dickinson kind of coming in the back end of it. You see it stacks up with, oh no, he got through it actually. That was, I think that was Petr and Lapsevich. Regardless, we got a time here on the caution. We'll get back to live picture, but there's a lot to try to go through there, and this is going to reshape this race entirely. The top, I'd say the top 2 cars, maybe even 3, have been cycled back somewhere else in the field here, and we are down to 20 cars rolling. That is a big, big incident right around halfway in this race, halfway to go. Here we go. Harbert's in the front row. Josh Cottle alongside. Green flag once again here at North Wilkesboro. Langford, big dive down to the inside of turn 3. He gets alongside Josh Cottle. Here's Langford's perspective into turn 1. Great fight now for second place. Caution is out, though, in the back of the field. Corey Bodie seems to have trouble, and he has got a very damaged number 44 now. I think that crash we just saw in turn 2 a caution ago could be one of the biggest and most impactful of the season. It's going to shape a lot of drivers' seasons, I think. Certainly going to affect the number 10 of Blake Massengill. He had this race dominated until this point. Here's Corey Bodie down to turn number 1, and it happens ahead, and wow, another big crash. Wow. Boy, when it happens big here. Joel Smith down to turn 1, gets into Kyle Meyer, who just seemingly checked up there to turn 1. Smith gets turned around, comes back down, another car on his lid. Mitch Drunowski didn't even notice that until now. My goodness. This is getting to be a little much here. What happened to Meyer? He got the wall, and it's still the sticky wall here at Wilkesboro. He gets checked up big time. And then try to see what happened to the 14 of Drunowski. I must have the wrong number on him. Take a look here on this replay. He's going to get hit by the one of McCullum. Meyer into the fence. Drunowski up and over. Wow. I wish we had more time to head through the replays. There's a lot to digest on these cautions, but we are quickly heading back green. There's the choose. Harbert's low again. So Harbert's and Black Magic Performance will lead us back to the green here with about, what is that, 55 laps to go when we hit the start-finish line. Here we go, back around to the restart zone, North Wilkesboro Speedway. 55 to go. First race of the new Super Series season here. Green flag, the All-Pro Virtual League 125 back underway. Josh Cottle on the outside of Jacob Harberts. Harberts going to clear him off of turn 4. Now with the Cottle chassis teammates side by side for second. Cabry with the edge. He'll nose ahead and clear the number 13 of Josh Cottle down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Cabry now set on attack mode, chasing that number 80. Side by side fight for 5th. Matt Rolfe on the inside of Parker Traves. Langford in the wall. Traves gets him. Dickinson slips by. Contact there some more between Traves and Langford. Massigo right in between. McCollum, contact maybe with Hamilton. He's trying to fight back through the field. There he is on the inside of that 10 car. McCollum gets by, gets clear of Cameron Hamilton, now sets his sights on Parker Traves. He's up into 7th, looking for 6th. He can still get back up there before the race is over. Massigo a little more worried about. He's alongside Langford back here, but up front, inside of 2/10 now between our race leaders. Harberts just has an edge here on Cabry. Cabry much further down the racetrack in 1 and 2. Harberts has a slightly better exit. Inside now at 50 to go. Good look around the racetrack. Matt Rolfe up to 4th. Could be a really big day for him. Spencer Dickinson in the top 5. Could be a big day there as well for the 6 car. Clearly, it's a matter of just staying alive in this race. Simply not allowing you, or not allowing others to take you out in some way, shape, or form. Claxton and Langford battle in the back, but these are your leaders. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. From the fan cam here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, Jacob Harberts, Cole Cabry, Josh Cottle, your top 3, and this is one of the better runs we've had in the last 20-25 minutes or so. Letting these guys stretch their legs a little bit. You see, Cabry keeps sticking that car lower and lower on the racetrack at 1 and 2. Just poking his nose into the mirror, but he gets the wall now into turn 3. Gathers it up, but not before damaging the right side of that Ford Mustang. Cottle now regrouping. They've got to try a different form of attack here, and I think that has Harberts breathing a little bit easier. You know what you get, though, with Cole Cabry. You know he's going to be good. You know he's going to put pressure on your back bumper and try to force you into a mistake. I guess the only way to try and beat him is to try and outlast him. Try not to make that mistake. Try to make him make that mistake. And in that case, you saw Cabry slip out and get the wall. Harberts stays out front just that little bit longer. And this is one of the longer races we'll see all season. We had the schedule graphic up earlier. We'll show it again before the end of the night, but this is about as long as these guys will race all season long here in the fall and winter of 2025 and 2026 as we take a look further back in the field. This a battle between Justin Crowe and Steele Langford to turn number 1. This is for the 11th spot, so not far out of the top 10. John Willett keeping his car alive as 18 cars are left out of the 30 that started. McCollum starting to work here on Matt Rolfe. He's gotten by Spencer Dickinson, dives now to the inside of the 0. Has got position on him through 3 and 4. Not quite clear. And the New Jersey native may just clear the 0 here in a lap or so, but Matt Rolfe not rolling over. Running out of room there on turn 4, and you see the battle starting to get going ahead. We'll keep an eye on it here from Matt Rolfe's perspective. Still a really good fight here for 4th spot. And if this thing goes green, Rolfe holding up this fight for as long as he has could be what holds McCollum back from a win. McCollum now clear. One thing I'm really liking from this racetrack, I'm not sure how it looked in the contender race last night, but I'm really liking how multi-groove this place looks so far. Of course, Anytime a new track gets released on iRacing, it's not without its small issues here and there, possibly anyway, not always. There are some perfect releases that happen, but usually things need a couple of tweaks here and there. And you know, at first, when I took a few laps myself in this place, I thought, man, this place has no grip. Super loose, really hard to get the car in the corner, but clearly these guys have figured it out, and who knows, they could still be on edge, but they look at home here. These cars really do look good on this racetrack, and looking like they can move around and find the lane that works for them. That's what you want in a racetrack like this. You want them to be able to move around, search around for grip, search around for the line and the throttle and brake points that work the best. Caution free the last 20 laps or so. Good battle here for 11th. Crow will go by Langford. Langford gets the wall in the front straightaway, falls back down into the clutches of John Willett. A few Chevrolets battling back here, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Langford back to the inside. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. Langford now a member of the posse. Making some big money moves. At least the paint scheme says member of the posse. The spreadsheet still says CFM, so maybe a change there that isn't quite reflected just yet. Race leaders though, 30 laps to go. 30 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro Speed. These 125s, they always get me. My math is always off. But 30 to go now. Harberts, Cabry, and Cottle, your top three. One car smoking in the pit lane. If you know it's you, if you could shut your car off or maybe exit the session, that'd be great. But, boy, less than 30 to go. Tires wearing out. No tires in the pit lane. These guys are on the same set all race long. And of course, with track temps in excess of 85 up to 90 degrees, you see 87 degrees still on track. We have caught a few clouds. You see the track darkening now, but still decently warm out there. Good bit of temp in the racetrack. Keeping these guys on their toes as McCullum continues to close in. Let's see the gap now between he and Cottle, about 9/10. It ebbs and flows, expands and contracts a little bit, but in the corners down inside, nearly inside of 8/10. On the straightaway is closer to a second. And with that lapped car ahead in the form of Trayton Lapsevich, that could help Alex McCullum try and close in on these guys. Lapsevich with a lot of damage. He was involved, I believe, in that big crash off of turn 2, where McCullum got the back end of Blake Massengill, and they stacked up on the outside lane. We'll see, does Lapsevich move over? Pull Down Motorsports listed on that 20, but he pulls high. Pulls up the racetrack to let these leaders go by in 1 and 2. So somewhat without trouble, but that might have helped Alex just a little bit, especially if Trayton plays nicely with Alex here as he tries to go by. We've gone by lap 100, by the way, and still no change here at the top end of the field. Kyle Turzak, the next car to go one lap down here shortly. These guys are up near the wall now in 1 and 2. Really in 1. They drive down the racetrack in turn 2. You can see it there. They're right around the bottom of the racetrack, though, in 3 and 4. Right on that white line, but they are spreading out. Watch this, down here in the corner. Up the racetrack in 1. They cut down in center. And we'll go by Kyle Turzak without issue. McCullum, though, losing some time. Turzak crosses the racetrack, tries to cut McCullum a break. And so your top 4 continue on. And Mitch Drunowski heading back out on the racetrack. He was on his lid on the inside of the back straightaway a little while ago, right in front of the leaders too. This is going to hold these guys up big time. Man, Harbert's going a long way around, now gets out of the way. And Blake Massagill, of course, he's trying to rebound after he got hit by Alex McCullum. Had a near perfect, what was it, 50, 60 laps. Got turned around there by Alex McCullum. Right around halfway as the lead is under contest. Here they go. Down the back straightaway, turn number 3. Cabrey just got his nose ahead for a moment. Inside of 20 to go, coming down to 15 to go even. And McCullum has closed in. He's less than a second back of Jacob Harberts. Driver's eye POV here. See Cottle right on the back bumper of Cabrey. Of course, they're teammates. Harberts and McCullum are teammates. Like a Black Magic and Cottle chassis sandwich right now. And then you see the gap, bottom right. Alex McCullum, Josh Cottle. I'll show you some lap times among your top 4. Here you go. You see the best laps on the right side of each of those little graphics, but the last lap is the one you want to look at. Now with 13 laps to go, Harbert's last lap, a .669. Cabrey just slightly faster. Cottle a little bit slower, but McCullum, he's starting to hit that dirty air. He's starting to stall out. That lap, Harbert's was just quicker than each of them. But it is down to thousandths of a second between these guys. This is about as close as you can be. I believe that's Keith Jeffrey, by the way, smoking in the pit lane. Harberts a little faster that time as well. McCullum, though, picked up. Not a whole lot, but as these guys hit lap traffic here in the final 10 laps, it's about to be electric among your top 4. That lap, Harberts slows it down, but is still faster than Cabrey. Cottle was a little faster. McCullum faster than Harberts and Cabrey both. Cottle was the fastest of the top 4 that last lap. Might want to swap the 54 and 13 cars. Cottle has said before he loves bigger tracks. This is bigger compared to most tracks on the calendar. McCullum keeps getting closer. You see that lap traffic ahead. There's your leaders out of turn 4. We've been green for about 40 laps now, a little over 40. And it has allowed these leaders to run the back of the field down. Meyer gets down out of the way. The next car up, that's going to be Corey Bodie. Then Joel Smith inside of 10 to go. This is a really cool way to track these top 4. McCullum, the fastest of the bunch that time. See from the motorhomes there in turn. They didn't expect those motorhomes to be in the way. That camera wouldn't be there. Harbert's a little slower than Cabrey that time. Matt Rolfe, by the way, battling tooth and nail with Spencer Dickinson back here for 5th. Here's a look at the fight. They're side by side now with 6 laps to go, and then the number 6 car trying to take that spot over. That would be for 6th. We mustn't stray too far from our leaders. Harberts, that last lap was quickest of the bunch. McCullum is there. It's properly a 4-car fight now. Harberts now Still faster. In fact, he and McCullum would have tied that lap as Rolf and Dickinson stay side by side. There they are, down on the back straightaway to turn number 3. Rolf the advantage, Dickinson down low. Harbert still leads. 3 laps to go in the new season of the Sim Auto Racing Association Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. This is the All-Pro Virtual League 125 with 2 laps to go now at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Harberts and Cavery 2 laps ago were identical. That lap nearly. Cottle and McCullum just slightly faster. It's coming down to inches, and with dirty air, it's getting harder and harder to pass. This time by 1 more time around for Jacob Harberts. White flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Last ditch effort. Jacob Harberts will not be denied. He'll go to victory lane this evening. North Wilkesboro Speedway belongs to the number 80. The other car is finishing up. But Jacob Harberts, we meet up for a hot dog at Martinsville Speedway, and less than a week later in North Wilkesboro Speedway virtual victory lane. That's a big deal for the number 80 car to open up with a win. It's been a little while for that number 80 machine. This is a big win, especially for that new venture, Black Magic Performance. This is a big, big deal for those guys. I'm excited for them. They're no shop, but they'll do. As Harberts, well, maybe give us a bit of a smoke show here on the back straightaway. He's finding a way into the infield. I know what he's doing. He's going to go park it in victory lane. So no burnouts here from the number 80. He's going to go park it, at least in the elevator, or victory lane. Now, unfortunately, iRacing has not given us the ability to send one up. But he's going to go drive through the infield a little bit. There's a little bit of smoke. Not quite a burnout, but it'll do. He's parking over at the Moonshine Shed. But he's going to go park it close to the elevator. I guess in victory lane's okay. That's the building, but that'll do. Close enough, Jacob. You see victory lane there. I wish we could get a car up there somehow, but modern technology has not yet given us the ability to elevate a car in sim racing. Hopefully one day, because that would be a really nice addition here to the brand new North Wilkesboro Speedway on iRacing.com. But Jacob Harbert's going to park it down in victory lane at North Wilkesboro Speedway after 125 laps of battle at this brand new, revived, renewed facility. Let's take a look back at the unofficial race results. Jacob Harbert's hot dogging away to a big win here to open up a new Super Series season. Checker flag falls for car number 80, Cole Cabrey, just a quarter second back. Josh Cottle there within a half second. Alex McCullum comes home fourth. Spencer Dickinson with a top 5. Big deal to start his Super Series season. Matt Rolfe, also solid finish there in 6th. Cameron Hamilton, Justin Laxton in the top 10. Big deal there. Parker Traves and Justin Crow complete your top 10 a little ways back. They survive this evening and just get on home inside that top 10. My heart breaks for Blake Massengill. What could have been, what maybe should have been for that number 10 in Cottle chassis. Maybe next time, I suppose, at Mexico for Blake Massengill. Still Lankford comes home 12th. John Willett in 13th. Joel Smith and Corey Bodie go a lap down there ahead of Kyle Terzak and Trayton Lapswich. They all get home, though. They're at the finish. Kyle Meyer, the first retirement, in 18th. Mitch Drunowski gets back on the racetrack late. Turns a few laps, gets up to 19th spot over Daniel Pope, who's credited with 20th. Keith Jeffrey, Eric Tracy Kendall Tucker all involved in that big melee out of turn 2. Tracy Petter was out a little bit earlier along with Joe Schaefer Jr. Cody Kelly out early. He, of course, made contact with Trevor Edwards and just could not get that car to be the same afterwards. RJ Williams out early despite racing for Cody Dempster this evening. Aaron Johnson involved in the same incident. Trevor Edwards, Casey Kelly were taken out in the first crash of the day. All in all, 30 cars, 125 laps, decent race here, though we had some cautions early, 7 of them seven of them in fact, or to be exact, that's what I was looking for. 7 cautions, 28 laps, still not a bad day here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. All things considered, good way to get the season started, and we will oh boy, we've got some drivers. I suppose that maybe didn't see the interview waiting booth down here. So if you're Alex, Josh, or Cole listening to me right now, the interview waiting booth is down the order, way down there. Jacob Harberts has joined it, and we'll get to talk to him as he made his trip back to Florida from Martinsville, Virginia recently. Trying to grab... All right, Cottle found his way down there. Good deal. So Jacob Harberts will win this evening at North Wilkesboro Speedway. And I'd like to think this is good luck for you, Jacob. I talked to you in the grandstands at Martinsville less than a week ago, and here you are at North Wilkesboro in Victory Lane. That's got to feel pretty good to get the season started the right way over all these fantastic drivers. Put yourself back at the top of the series. Just how good does this victory taste?
Man, it's awesome. Qualified 1-2 as a team, and I was able to capitalize on some really good bonus points too and take home the win. The win is the coolest thing. It's always, when you can get a win in Super Series, you got to take it. Obviously, got to thank my man Andrew for the good luck from last weekend. But yeah, it's awesome to get a good run opening night, Wilkesboro, new track. Man, it was a blast.
And these 2 tracks are a little different from anything else on the calendar. Anything else that the official series run, it's definitely, I think, going to be a challenge to get setups built, quickly enough for these 2 races, I'd imagine, right?
That's kind of like my specialty. I love, being crunched in on time, with these mystery nights coming up. I think that those play in my favor more than anything. Next week we do have Mexico City, so that'll be definitely a lot different than what we're, normally used to. I mean, as a matter of fact, none of us have actually raced there before, but it's pretty similar to Milwaukee and New Hampshire. I'm sure at least setup-wise, we'll be having, very similar packages than what we've ran in the past at, Milwaukee and stuff. So I definitely got something to work off of. It won't be too bad.
And obviously you want to go get those wins on merit, and I'd say you still did so tonight, but the seas did part for you around halfway. What's it going to take to be ahead of that next week in Mexico, to be out front and be ahead of all the melee? I'd imagine there's going to be a few cautions maybe that we aren't expecting next week.
Yeah, it's always tough, in SARA where, we have the invert, so nothing's guaranteed. I always try and shoot for the bonus points in qualifying, but that means, you're going to get inverted, and even if you don't get the bonus points, then you're just kind of hoping that, depending on handicap or the random invert, whichever one we have for the night, goes in your favor. Luckily invert tonight wasn't very big. It was just 6. So I was able to start top 5 and just kind of right up front. Really the big thing was I was very loose to start the race. The first 40 or so laps, I was really just trying to hold on going into turn 1. It was really sketchy. A couple times I really broke sideways, but once I got through that, the car actually tightened up a little too much. I was kind of struggling through 3 and 4, really good through 1 and 2, but the 54 was definitely better than me through 3 and 4.
We hang on over the 54 anyways and come home first place tonight. Congratulations, Jacob, and hopefully this good luck continues into Mexico next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jacob Harbert, it's a big win here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. He gets it done over maybe the new hottest driver in the SARA series, whether it's the National Tour or the Super Series. We can count on Cole Cabrey being in the mix. And Cole, you started off P12. First of all, what went wrong in qualifying?
Just misjudged it, man. It was driver error, and I just had a bad qualifying effort, but I trusted the car and the setup we had for the feature to, carry us through.
And of course, we've had Wilkesboro on the sim for a while now, but not this brand new scan. What kind of challenges did you guys face preparing for this race? I know, it felt to me like there was not a lot of grip when I took some laps, but of course, you guys found a lot of grip in those open setups.
Yeah, for sure. No, this track lacks a lot of grip, which it shouldn't. It kind of seems like it should have a lot, but no, I love this track. It's hard to pass for sure. Like once I got behind Harberts, I didn't want to dirty him up, and Harberts is a good racer, and but anyways, yeah, no, it's super hard to pass, but it's a fun racetrack to run, even laps by yourself on. So, yeah, I definitely like it.
And of course, Mexico City, a big curveball for the entire field next week. Have you done any testing? What can we expect?
I've heard some talks about it. We'll get into that next week. That's a next week activity. And yeah, we'll burn some laps in. But I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Caudill Chassis, the shop, everyone. We put in a lot of effort this week. And like I said, I really appreciate it. Glad to rebound after that qualifying effort and finish one spot short than we did last season. So hopefully we're on the right track again.
Caudill Chassis, nice and strong here at Wilkesboro. Cole, congratulations, P2. Nothing to scoff at. We'll talk to your teammate.
Appreciate it.
And that teammate, of course, is Josh Caudill, who finishes third place, completes the podium this evening in that shiny Candy Apple Red number 13. Josh, you started fourth, or I guess third with the invert, so you were right up front from the get-go, but it was tricky to stay up there. What happened for you?
It's just the restarts made it really difficult. The top in 1 and 2 was very good, and then the bottom and 3 and 4 was really good. So it's like you had to pick, obviously you had to pick your poison. If you got to the top and you didn't clear the guy on the bottom, and you just plow through 3 and 4. But honestly, I can't be mad. I felt like I had pace to run with those guys, and it could have been worse.
Never left the top 5. Not many can say that this evening. But we've got a big track that seems like it would fall into your wheelhouse next week. Mexico City, big 1 mile flat racetrack. Have you done any testing? I mean, is it going to fall into a Milwaukee or New Hampshire kind of thing for you, or is it a complete curveball?
In the Super, I haven't tested it, but I tried it in the F1 car, and the bumps are crazy. So keep in mind on that. I'm not sure what the choice is going to be setup-wise, but I'm excited for it because that's just the track that nobody's going to have a base for already. So everybody's going to be in a curveball and trying different stuff, and you're going to see some big movers and comers and goers. So I'm definitely excited for that more than any race this season, honestly. We don't know how it's going to be, and we don't know how dynamic track's going to affect it, but I'm excited.
Of course, your teammate and team driver, Blake Massigill, started this race out front by the invert, led the first 60 laps or so, but got taken out there. I'd imagine the whole operation's got to be gutted for what could have been there for Car 10.
Oh yeah, man. Obviously, we want to see Blake do good. He did very well at Oxford like a couple seasons ago, and thought we had another piece that could get him a win. And I hate it for him, and that's just a part of racing. He did a great job, and I know he'll bounce back and come back better than ever, just like all of us. We had a great piece tonight to be able to hang with those guys, and it shows we're not out of it yet.
Josh Caudill, P3 tonight. Not quite any laps led or anything, but very, very close. Josh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not out of it yet. I just got to get a little bit better. I'm going to continue to try to get podium so I can come talk to you, Andrew, but I got to thank the shop boys for putting the piece that we had together. I felt like, honestly, we had a car to do good, and it showed on track. We never really fell off or anything, and we were just racing with those guys, and obviously Harberts did a fantastic job. Congrats to Harberts on the win. He's a buddy of mine, and it's always good seeing him run good. Thank you to Jacob Hayes, Fusion One Graphics, Rocket iRace Wraps for the beautiful Candy Red Apple scheme. As you could tell, that thing was bright, son. Hopefully it blinded my competition a little bit, but I don't think it helped me any. Thank you to Caudill Chassis, Lucky Duck Motorsports. They're a new sponsor this season, and he's been a great help to me, and thank him for coming on board. And yeah, I believe that's it.
A strong number 13 in the opening round of the season. Josh, congratulations. Hopefully we're talking to you soon. We'll move on down, and we will grab the 4th place driver. Sorry to talk over Josh, but we'll grab Alex McCullum. I'm curious, Alex. I know, of course, we saw the incident there at a turn 2 that involved you and Blake Massigill. What happened from your perspective?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's, I mean, we were just racing close. I mean, it's so hard to see out of these right side cars, and I peeked my nose to Blake, and I think I came up a little bit, and he was kind of doing a little cut down, and we just met in the middle. And at that point, you're kind of just along for the ride. So I apologize to Blake. I mean, it's not intended. I mean, we're trying to race for the lead, and we both have really fast cars, and it was just a racing deal, unfortunately.
It definitely looked like a racing deal. Wanted to at least give you a chance to kind of speak your case there, Alex. Great run again. Hopefully we're talking to you soon, maybe at Mexico next week.
Thank you.
Alex McCollum very strong once again here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Just a couple of spots short despite all of the setbacks. Of course, the invert after being the fastest qualifier and then having to climb back through the field from much deeper on than he expected to be at any point in this race. This is just round one. Got a long way to go this season. Here's a look at it. October 9th, next week, Mexico City. That's the next one up for the SARA Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. Gonna be a fun season. 90 laps in Mexico coming up, then who knows what for Mystery Rounds 1 and 2. I will say we will not be there on Mystery Night number 2, brought to you by the association. That broadcast, unfortunately, well, it won't be a broadcast. That race will not be broadcasted here on the channel. We will be out of town here for Pit Stop TV, so unless something drastic changes, that is not going to be a broadcast night, unfortunately. That is why the national race over in the National Tour was flexed up. We can take a look at that schedule quickly. The Nashville race, the Velocity Motorsports All-American 300, been flexed up to October the 23rd. That is the next one up for the National Tour. That will also be with super late models there at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Then it's the Fall Brawl, Thanksgiving Classic, and Kern Winter Classic coming up over in the Impel Motorsports National Tour. A lot of great partners. That's the wrong thing. Hang on. A lot of great partners with this series. I do have to update this graphic, but we'll go through the existing graphic, and this will be updated for Mexico City next week. But All Pro Late Model Tour, still a lot of the same great partners involved. All Pro Late Model Tour, Cody Williams Design, Corey Bodie Motorsports, Crow Sim Shots, Davis Chassis Works, DriverTees.com, Dylan Bates Racing, Fast AF Designs, Hides, Pride Leather and Sheepskin, International Short Track Association, Matthews Designs. Moving on, you'll find 1-8 Coffee Company, 1-8 Racing Media, Patriot Media Marketing Services, Pedley's Garage Incorporated, Pierce Fleet Service, Race1Wraps.com, RJW21 Management, RS Centered Trucking, SARA Next Gen Templates, SimWrap Market, Toxic Media Solutions, and Wisconsin Wings and Walleyes. One more time, we'll take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV. I just realized, oh man, I guess it's this new season woes. We didn't do a driver of the day. I haven't done a broadcast solo in a little while, so I'll take the hit there. I'm going to award, I'll take this guy right down, I'm going to award Blake Massengill a posthumous kind of sentimental driver of the day. Let me find him again here on the graphic because I completely blanked there, and I do apologize. So Blake Massengill, that was the unofficial driver of the day, I suppose. Didn't have the vote on YouTube, that's on me. It's been a crazy week in between Martinsville and here at Wilkesboro, and it's just a little bit of rest to kick off as we get back into the new season of this SARA Super Series. But next up for us on Pit Stop TV, we head out to Darlington Raceway with the Major Series, October the 5th, Sunday evening. It is going to be a fun day. The Rove will be wrapping up, maybe some football in the background, but you got to tune in for the Major Series Southern 500 this weekend, this Sunday, October the 5th. Should be a lot of fun. Then we go to Mexico City next Thursday, for Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. There we go, for the SARA Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. It's going to be one of the first trips outside of the country ever, I think, for the series. I mean, maybe they've been up to, I don't know where they would have gone before, actually. I'll have to check with Matt on that. I don't know where the series would have gone to hit an oval. Maybe to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the road course, but this might be the first time the series goes outside of the United States, so could be a big day for the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series next October 9th. Then Tuesday, October 14th, it's out to Daytona International Speedway, the BRB Sundance Pro Series getting kicked off as we head out into season number 5 of BRB action. It'll be the 4th season that we carry here on Pit Stop TV. Could not be more excited to get things started with them in their new foray into ARCA racing with those new ARCA cars here on the sim. Thanks so much for tuning in this evening. It's been a pleasure as always. For myself, Andrew Cardinale the 5th. Wow. Okay, Andrew Cardinale the 4th. It's been a long day. For myself, Andrew Cardinale the 4th. My son, the 5th, I suppose. And everybody else here at Pit Stop TV, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you all next time here at Pit Stop TV. Hopefully, this Sunday for the Major Series at Darlington Raceway. We'll see you there. Otherwise, we'll see you at Mexico City next week.